Not Cindy marketing guy, but the guy for money you've just wasted. This was a nice guy that I reported to that guy, the senior marketing guy. He never said, that is next time.
Try to add a little more.
So anyway, that's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
You know, yeah. Time, so.
Hey, good, how are you?
Can y'all hear me on Zoom?
Oh, we're back to Zoom?
Or just today?
Try to add a little more. Is there a meeting next Tuesday?
Yeah. Time, so.
Hey, good, how are you?
Can y'all hear me on Zoom?
Oh, we're back to Zoom?
Or just today?
Try to add a little more. Is there a meeting next?
You got the delayed response on that?
Well, it's the recording.
Oh, the recording.
Carrie, can you hear me?
Just in case we say something we shouldn't, they can, delete it from
That's
time.
true.
I want to make sure we can hear them.
I can hear you.
Thank you.
Kimber, we can hear you good.
Thank you.
Terry Ann can hear you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot to send you a note. Thanks for the signature.
Oh, you're welcome.
I didn't even know it was there until I hit the response. Boom, it popped up.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, we have not met. Mike.
What's your last name?
Parrish, Mike Parrish. Yeah, I'm one of the new. Hey, Julie, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
One of the newer agents here.
Okay.
Not new to KW, but new agent here. So.
Your commercial, you said?
Strictly commercial.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yourself?
Residential.
Residential?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been here for a bit, I just don't come to the meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, I just moved from the Atlanta Midtown office, and Jim was like, we have, Jim said we have 7 or 8 people. I said, "Why just come to the meetings?" So they use from our commercial team. I was like,
really?
okay.
Yeah.
James, are you in charge today?
No, I'm strictly, well, we have a group of people
Yeah.
here, it's about 7 or 8 people who are part of KW Commercial.
Yeah.
We pay to play kind of thing. And then, so we're really not a team. I think of anybody that works together is probably Matt, Judy, and then Dan. I don't think they're a team. I've always been solo. Partnered up in a team.
Yeah.
I'm a team of one.
So
So,
you paid for the
well, we have KW Commercial, KW Luxury, and KW Land. And so if you use any one of those brands, and you consider you're part of the affiliation with that entity, we pay almost $200 a month for all the benefits to use the branding, name recognition. If I put my name on a sign, I can use the KW Commercial, whereas you can't do that unless
Oh,
you're a
you can't do
KW.
KW commercial.
KW commercial,
Okay.
exactly.
I didn't know that.
So it's specific branding to strictly the commercial, and that's all I do. I don't, you'll hear my pitch, Julie, again, many times, but the only residence I tried to sell was my mother, and she fired me.
She fired you. She's like, you're not good at this.
She fired me. She was like, here's my card. In case you don't work with one of the other folks,
No, that's awesome.
call me. I love to pay referral fees when I can, so.
Okay, cool. Very good.
And, yeah, I've, been in this since 12, 18.
Since 2012 you've been
I
here?
joined, I got into real estate.
Oh, okay. But you've been here for 4 years.
With KW since 18, and with this office.
Okay, cool.
I was down on the coast, my wife and I relocated in 21 back to Atlanta. So I was part of the new market service for those areas, just now I got it attracted over to KW.
You in this area now, you live here?
It was about 8 minutes. I was 45 minutes to get because at the time we were moving back, it was a whack-a-mole contest. We didn't really play. For some reason, this fleeing moment that we made sometimes, like it was down, you know,
Yeah.
Our first house 30 years ago was 15 minutes, 10 minutes. What about yourself?
Yeah, I live in this area about 15 minutes north off the state place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the space, the size versus in the city.
I know.
Plus,
Feel like
the
it's been
sun's
a
gone.
year.
I like being
Huh?
kind of.
Has it been a year? No,
it's not
just
kidding.
Not been here.
60 years old. I'm a southern guy,
Yeah.
you know.
Like the
It's-
quiet.
I like the quiet.
I like
It's a
the
lot of
quiet, yeah.
millennials, but there were a lot of older folks.
I need to set up a.
Well, so much has changed. People are. People said, "Wow." When you leave it, we were gone for 6 years.
Morning.
And people said, "You left the coast."
Hi, how are you?
Yes, we got tired of running from hurricanes.
How you doing?
Good, how about you today?
Two hurricanes in six, two
I know,
hurricanes.
since
two
our last
hurricanes in 6 years.
class.
So,
Yes, I'm great, thank
category
you.
three. So, you know, there's literally both.
I know, that's okay, you know, they're all where was so.
This was,
That's
we moved there in
good.
15, the first one,
Oh, absolutely,
the first
you
one,
know,
there were two
problem, thanks for
hurricanes,
the
one in
feedback.
16. And then the last one.
She is, she's good, she's funny, I like her a lot.
But they were the ones that came,
That's what
that
she's
came
doing.
over
That's
Florida.
Yes.
One of them started right up the east coast of Florida, that was supposed to be a Cat 4. It would have destroyed Brunswick, St. Simons, and Seattle, and the public didn't know it, but I was at a meeting, where Jen, she was mentioned. And it's like, I mean, calm down.
Hey, honey, how are you?
The other one,
Yeah, no, I'm missing you. Well, I wasn't closed, but I've been busy with Christmas stuff, a lot of events. Yeah, so I was here last week, but I had to leave.
I mean, it's trails back in there, it's really nice.
well, maybe it was God and Mother Nature, but it seemed like this past fall, the first fall we were back was the prettiest that we ever. We had 2 seasons hotter, or less hot. But it was
Yeah. You watch it?
10 minutes from here, it's kind of nice.
Did you watch the there?
I'll spend most of my life. Thank you. I looked down and it just stuck back. Hey, I might get removed.
I'm sorry, I only sent it to your email. I'm sorry. I was gonna send it by carrier pigeon. Or a big balloon. Oh, we got a new table?
Thank you.
Is that your table? Looks like we're ready to do a game show.
I have a bad knee and I can't
Your son's wearing shorts and it's freezing. I say the same thing to my son all the time. He's like, it's fine.
At the beach, man.
Yes.
We're talking about mindset, right?
Yeah.
I love how they all want
He,
to name James shirts.
He's all mad because they're,
You do, what's
covering
that?
degrees and everything, and he knows so he can't work for the next.
Oh, I was,
And he's like, this stinks.
I got there, I'm like,
I'm like, welcome to the real world.
It'd be all right.
I was living with her.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, but, yeah, we catch up on that. Because I made a comment, I'm like, oh, this is. She's like, oh, no, I have 3 phones. I'm like, yeah, you can answer.
Wow, the antlers.
Hey.
Are you in there?
Oh,
I know, right?
My name's Rob.
Rob did. You are, Ann.
Very
nice to meet you.
Very nice.
She might be right.
Oh, for sure, well, she'll get my ass, don't worry.
The eyes look so.
She knows how to ring.
No, I didn't mean finish.
She's making it clear.
He's a volume one.
Good morning, sir.
She's like the reaction from all of us.
When I say
I know.
Carrie. Very
But where's Karen? Where's Karen? They'll be just like that.
Good morning, everybody. On the calendar.
My problem is like, after I work, I just can't stop.
That's not the way that you do color, you do 1, 2, 3. That's Mo Anderson. I stole the book. Anyway, guys, good morning. On the calendar for months, we've had no team meeting today. But when we knew about 72 Soul, I thought we needed to at least make sure that we, that everyone that wants to know about it knows about it. So I'm glad y'all came this morning. That means you're at least interested in learning something new. And some people in here, Christy, Paige, you already signed up for it. So just sign up for it, guys. So I want y'all to hear about it, and know that it's there. And I want anybody to say, dang, I wish I knew about that. But someone will. Although we can sell meetings about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Quickly, we have a full agenda this morning. Tell me something good right now. Sir.
From Jeff Hart. He gave me these lovely socks, and my wife laughed at me this morning when I was getting dressed. So they work.
It's good that she laughed at you.
Work for making
They
snow
made his wife laugh.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Cool.
It's a good thing if you make your spouse laugh.
Yes.
Well, that will be mild some of the stuff that I would do, but that's okay. You're boring. You're a banker. Okay. Any other good news we can talk about at all? I love that. That's bankers. I love that. Everybody should like that. Any other good news to talk about at all?
Yes, they thank the office so very much. Oh my God, you all outdid yourself with these Christmas gifts. It was so much of it. Thank you so very much. And the families are so appreciative. The middle school counselor from Smithville called me.
3 carloads to get there.
Right, called me several times, and she's just over herself, and the families are over themselves. You guys don't understand. Some of these parents don't even have money to get an Uber to go to school to pick up the kids. She and the other counselors have to drop them off. So this is how dire some of these situations are. So you guys think you're just buying a little toy? No, just make it a big deal in somebody else's life. So thank you from the bottom of our cultural hearts.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's give everybody a hand. Yay! Quickly, I'm sure exactly how to worry.
We were nervous at the beginning because we didn't adopt quickly, but
This
it
always
happened.
comes through. This always comes through. So, anyway, guys, we have a lot going on, so let's go ahead and get started. Carrie, any words from you this morning?
Yeah, we just want to
Give us
say
some words.
some words of wisdom. Good morning, I'm Carrie with Thomas and Brown. We just wanted to thank y'all for an amazing year. I cannot believe it's already the end of the year again. And like looking back, I really know we about the cousins that we've had with y'all and our friendships that we've made. We added 2 offices, which is crazy, especially, with everything going on. I mean, why not more Christmas trees? But anyway, I'm kidding. But thank y'all for a great year, and we love you so much. I know we got lots to get to, so I won't ramble.
All right, any words of wisdom? Come on, what, Jeff, hold on a second. Go ahead now, Jeff.
Merry Christmas, Carol Williams.
Merry
Christmas. And happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. Right in this of it. So this has been a great year. Thank you all so much. We really love, Tim and Hero and I really love serving this office. Supreme loves to have this office as a partner. You all are an awesome partner. And we've got exciting things to come in the new year. Some good news from a business perspective, and relationships are so much more than business, right? It's so much more important than business. But from a business perspective, The National Association of Realtors released, you know, their projection for 2023. 4.79 million units, I think. But Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, which they define Marietta, Atlanta, Sandy Springs, is gonna be the #1 city in the US.
Give 'em a hand, you all.
We're gonna have a great year. Yeah, it's gonna be slower, but this is a great time to get to work, and professionals in this office are gonna do really well. So, thank you.
Thank you all so much. Guys, so let's go ahead and get started. We have a couple things going on. And 72 Soul is something that I heard about at another camp. And guys, and I think this is the nicest way. Keller International sends us so many things for y'all to think about that I get overwhelmed by. Can you tell me what that is? So guys, we try to go through all the BS thing of what's actually happening. But the 72 Soul kept coming up and kept coming up, and we've got many people signed up in this office for this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 minute and just let you guys hear from Paige. She has done some real reconnaissance work. In fact, she was doing reconnaissance work last night at what time? Late, that's right.
Till 10 o'clock.
So she has got some updates that I'm not even aware of yet. And guys, I want anybody here that has information that they can share to be able to share about 72 Soul, like if you signed up for it and you want to share what you're learning out. I want this to be a sharing thing. But Paige was on the phone with someone last night who's going to join us at what time, Paige?
He's on 45. Is he on?
He's on.
Okay.
So let's move on to that, Paige. Come on.
I just sent him a text and to make sure that he was on, and let's see, Jason, are you there?
I am here.
Jason?
Yes, I am here.
We can't hear you.
I am here. Can anybody hear me? No? Yeah, Michelle's got me.
We can got you. Yeah, all the Zoom calls hear you.
Yeah, I don't.
Jason?
I'm here.
Good.
Great, it's Paige.
There we go.
And I'd like to introduce you to our market center. We're the Keller Williams Atlanta North, commonly referred to as the greatest market center in the state of Georgia, and we're located in East Cobb.
That is great. That is great.
I want to give you a little bit of, give everybody a little bit of a lead in. I got kind of frustrated with the 72 Sold program, which is kind of why I'm standing up here, because of the frustration level that I went to. And then all of a sudden I went, why don't I tell someone at 72 Sold how very frustrated I am? So after going through a couple of people on our team of trying to get information, I pounded out an email yesterday at, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it started off by saying, I need some real clear information, all in bold letters and all highlighted in yellow. By 10 o'clock last night, I had spoken with Jason, who called me direct, and Jason is, Jason, tell us what your title is with 72 Sold.
I am the head of operations. I'm similar, you guys would put it in respect to Jason Abrams of you guys. So I'm the Jason Abrams over here.
Okay, all right, so Jason and Jason. He called me last night and he said, you know, you've got some really valid questions. Have you gone to this webinar? And I said, please don't tell me to go to another webinar. Answer my question. And those of you that know me in here know that that's how, you know, I'm very direct. Answer the question. Don't tell me to go to a webinar. And Jason picked up on that immediately and he said, how about if I Zoom in with you tomorrow morning? And I said, that's great. So we set all that up, and 7 o'clock this morning, I called Jim and I said, is it okay if we do this? And he said, sure, Paige. And so here we are. So Jason, if you'll take a few minutes, 15 minutes, to talk about the 3 different ways that you can be affiliated with 72 Sold, like we talked about last night.
Yep.
The group here, who you're talking to, they know something about 72 Sold.
Okay.
Knows nothing about 72 Sold, hold your hand up, you know, nothing, zero. There's a few that know nothing, Jason.
Okay, then, how about this? Let me take, I'm gonna do a 2-minute crash course of just very, very, very high level overview. Then let me get into what Paige was saying and basically the 3 ways that somebody could take part in it if they wanted to. Does that sound good?
Great, thanks, Jason.
That sounds great. And
Okay.
anybody in the room who really absolutely knows nothing, there was one person that's a residential. If you have questions, we're gonna have Q&A after Jason, or you can talk to anybody on the ALC who is familiar with the program. Okay, take it, Jason.
Okay, so very high level overview, you guys, is what we looked at was traditional real estate kind of, I mean, we would all understand, you know, how I guess Uber went after the taxi cab industry, what was wrong with it, what didn't work for the consumer, and they changed it up, right? We looked at traditional real estate the same way, specifically seller focused. We don't really deal with buyers. And we looked at what doesn't give the seller the best experience and then getting them the most money. And it gets very psychological based, not only when selling a home, but obviously when working with a buyer in order to achieve those 2 things for a seller. What we did was we then created a program about 4 years ago that we are very good at marketing. Okay, marketing a program is probably our #1 thing that we are good at. That and keeping the program relevant to the current market. So we started marketing this here in Arizona about 4 years ago, and our website blew up. Sellers wanted to know more about it. They liked the way it sounded, and we just kept reinvesting. Well, long story short, we then started launching across the country in various media markets. This was well before KW came around. Cincinnati, Los Angeles, Minnesota, Vegas, Vermont, all over the place. And we would just partner with agents and brokerages that wanted to be part of it. We would then start our media there. Commercials would start running. Sellers would start going to the website. Those agents would get blown up with amount of referrals. They would start listing the homes, following the program, so forth and so on. And that obviously got Gary's attention and Jason Abrams, and they asked us to, you know, fly out to Austin. And the question was, what are you guys trying to do? You have Arizona locked up. We can't get through you there. We get it. You guys have the biggest market share, but nationally, what are you guys trying to do? And we said, we are trying to go national. It's slow because we have to identify in every media market, who are we going to partner with? Is it RE/MAX? Is it, you know, some independent brokerage, whatever it is. And Gary said, well, listen, this is the best thing that I've seen. I've got the agents. You don't have to search anymore for who are you going to partner with. Let's just do it with KW and the market centers across the country. We said, great. So long story short, fast forward now to today, we are launching nationally on January 2nd. And what I mean by that is national commercials start to run across NBC, ABC, and CBS January 2nd all the way through February. Okay. The difference between a national commercial and a local commercial is NBC Cincinnati is not NBC National. National means I can run a commercial during, let's say, Good Morning America, a show that everybody sees, and now the entire country will see that. So we have national commercials running about 5 days a week, January through February. All it does is it talks about a better way to sell your home. Why would you sell the traditional way? So forth and so on. Sellers then go to our website. They tell us when they want to sell, what they think their home is worth, the condition that the home is in, the type of home it is, and then they put in their number, and they are now waiting for an agent to reach out to them to tell them more about the program and does it fit their home, and then list their home. Agents that we have now, let's say, and I'm going to get into the 3 ways that you can be part of this. Agents that are part of the program can then receive these referrals. Okay, so now let me explain to you the 3 ways to do this. way number one would be, I want to join as a member, and I want you guys to think of it this way. Think of a gym membership, okay? We have a gym membership. You pay X amount of dollars per month. You have access to everything in the gym, right? You can go in and DIY your own health and your own muscles and everything else. Sometimes, though, you want to go up to the personal trainer. Personal trainers are only available to those that are gym members, okay? And I can do the personal trainer as much or as little as I want. Doesn't really matter. I can do it for a month and then skip 3 months and come back in and do the personal trainer. So now let's talk our program. Step one is join to learn the program. You have to be certified and have the limited licensing rights to use our brand and everything else. So that's joining the program. That is $72 per month. Okay, you have access then to your member portal, which obviously has all the training, you learn everything, but you can DIY, generate your own sellers if you want, and any seller that goes to you, not through us, you owe us nothing. There is no referral fee for anything you do on your own using our name, our brand. You would just pay $72 a month, okay? Those same agents.
Jason, that's after you had paid $200 to join?
Correct. So look at it this way so everybody understands. When you first sign up, there's a $199 fee. However, your $72 doesn't kick in for about another 45 days to 60 days. So if you really average it out, it's about $72 a month starting out right away. So what I mean by that is let's say I sign up December 4th, whatever it is. I paid $199 on December 4th. I have December covered, I have January covered, and my 72 doesn't kick in until February. Technically, if I signed up now, I would have December, January, and February, then is when it kicks in. If I signed up January 1st, I'd have January, I'd have February, and March is when it would kick in. Okay, so $199 to sign up, $72 doesn't start until after your first full free month, okay? So now let's say I'm one of these members, okay? I'm in the $72 program. I'm learning the program. We have constant Monday, Wednesday, Friday trainings. Obviously, our member portal has the core training in there. But now I say, you know what? I like the DIY. I'm doing okay, but I want that personal trainer. I want to step up to the next level, and I want to ride the coattails of 72 sold in these national commercials, okay? I'm not committed to, I can do it whenever I want. But ultimately, any agent that is in the $72 program can contribute increments of $1,500 to a national ad campaign. Okay, right now, I think it's up to about 6 million spread out over January and February, okay? Every 1,500 should equate out to about 4 to 6 referrals coming to me. Okay, these are not referrals that you fight over or they go to everybody and the first person to reach out. That's not a good experience for a seller. Okay, so ultimately I contribute 1,500, and let's say I'm in for this January, February media launch. Okay, I am now in a rotation of other agents within my area that I selected. So if I contributed 1,500 and Paige contributed 3,000, she's going to have 2 seats at that dinner table, if you will. So let's pretend the first referral would go to her, second one would go to me, third one would go to her, then it feeds everybody else at the table, and then this starts all over again. So ultimately, she's going to get 2 for every one of mine. But why? Because she paid double. She paid 3,000 instead of 1,500. Okay. You should easily, if you know the program, and I will reiterate this, the number one way that an agent will waste their money with us is if they walk into a seller's home and they don't pitch the program. You will walk out of there feeling dumb because the seller will look at you and say, well, what are you talking about? That's not, the commercial had nothing to do with what you're saying here. So you have to know going in, they are interested in the program that they saw on television. That is why they're calling, and that's why you're in their house. Okay, so please make sure you walk in there knowing it's all about the program. You should close. If I hand over 5 referrals to Paige right now, she should close and make money on 1, minimum 1. Okay, if you're not, something's wrong. Either you're pitching traditional real estate or you're not doing the program A to Z. Now let's go back to that DIY. Remember I told you guys you could generate your own business and there's no referral fee to us. If you contribute to the ad fund and we're running the commercials, there's a 25% referral fee on whatever we push over. So you guys can do the math. There is a lot of money to be made in that DIY with no referral fee. However, it takes agents putting in a little elbow grease, right? We have commercials on your member portal that you can run on social media. It's our commercials. They're our best performing across the country commercials we've ever had. You can use those. You can have the call to action be, call Jason at blah, blah, blah. And those sellers can go right to you. It just obviously takes a little bit of work on your end. If you don't want to do that, you're like, nah, just you do the stuff for me. You send me the referrals. That's fine, but there's a 25% referral fee then connected to that. Okay, so now we've gone over two scenarios, two ways to be part of this. Number one, I just want to learn a better way to sell a home, use the 72 Sold name and the brand to generate my own business. That's number one. Number two, I'm one of those people. I'm the $72 member, but I want to step up to the next level. I want to go and contribute to the ad fund. Fine, I'm in rotation for that month. Well, January, February is combined. Look at that as one big month, but call it month to month, and then I can have those referrals sent directly to me, 25% referral fee. The third way is I am an investor. I am a team leader. I am a market center owner. I am somebody that has no interest in going out on listing appointments at all. But I want to sponsor someone. I want to pay for somebody's $1,500. I can do that. So let's say Jason wants to sponsor Paige. And I say, you know what, here's $3,000, 72 Sold. I'm not in the program. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just funding her money. Paige and I are going to have our own little split on the side. What 72 Sold will ask me is, okay, we need the name, email address, and cell phone number of that agent that is in the program, because our referrals can only be handled by those that are in the program. Makes sense. Nobody else will know the program, so why are you going to go into a seller? Why are we going to hand that over to that person? So then ultimately Paige is she's a member, she's in the ad fund, she's in the national campaign, but she's not paying. I am. So that's another way that somebody could be, in a sense, part of this. They're just kind of on the outside there. So I'm going to stop for a sec. I know there were some questions coming in. Do the ads stream on non-TV platforms, Peacock? Some of them do. It's from what our marketing department said is, and I don't do the Peacock and all this other stuff, but the stations, I guess there is like such a thing as NBC on Peacock, right? Some of those will transition over into those platforms. Some people have said, why TV? Television is the number one way to gain a consumer's approval validity than anything else. And I'll give you an example. Why don't you see Walmart or Apple or somebody else heavily marketing on Facebook? Because the validity in hitting the amount of consumers out there is much stronger on television. You see it on television enough, and psychologically you say, what is this? There is so much, excuse me for saying it, crap all over social media sometimes. It just gets buried. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just scrolling. I'm just scrolling. But if I have television and morning news, evening news, maybe a little bit in the afternoon, but you really don't have any viewers, so why would you spend the money there? And it's constant. That is why we have sellers immediately reaching out. It's an immediate, I forget the word that marketing uses, but I use validity, but a seller will see it and it is immediate. So what is this? What is the benefit to the seller? What is the program for the consumer that's being advertised? The consumer, what they hear on television is, in today's more, challenging market, why would you go the traditional way when ultimately there's so many pitfalls of it? We have developed a better way that nets sellers more money. so forth and so on. It's about 30 seconds, something like that. Honestly, we have so many of them. You could probably Google some of our random commercials out there and they're all going to pop up. But it's just enough to get a seller. And then at the end it says, go to 72sold.com to learn more. It's just enough to get a seller interested to where you obviously don't tell them everything, but you get them going to the website, wanting to learn more. They put in those 5 or 6 bits of information that you then know. And then that is passed over to you. So now when you call the seller, you know where their head's at on price. You know when they're thinking of selling, at least what they say. A lot of sellers might say, oh, 6 to 12 months, but then next thing you know, they're listing right then and there. You know, obviously the condition of the home, type of home it is, if they have any features and upgrades. Again, walking in knowing a lot more than you ever would. And that this seller is interested in the program. Okay.
I've got a couple of questions that have been asked over and over of us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to those now. In number 3, the third option,
Okay.
that is what would be advantageous for teams. Team leaders do not have to receive leads. Teams
Correct.
can simply become a member and become a part of the program, do the ad buy-in, and those leads would then go directly to a team member who is a member of 72 Sold, who is on the program with the $72 a month, but is not on the ad spend.
Correct. You're absolutely correct.
Now, there was a really good point that was brought up yesterday. And we'll talk about this longer because I promised Jason that we would just take a few minutes of his time. But the zones are incredibly large right now for metropolitan Atlanta. And we have been told that that will change over time. And that is depending upon what areas the leads are coming from. Christy and I were talking yesterday. If I get a lead in Carrollton for $150,000 house, I'm not taking it and I'm not sending a team member to take it. But if I can partner with someone who is only paying the $72 a month, but is certified in the program, I can have that lead go directly to them. They pay the 25% out of their commission side, and you do not pay 25% out of your side. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, so if I didn't want to drive and I referred it over to another 72 Sold agent, that agent is now responsible, obviously, for the 25% referral fee that's attached to it.
Okay, that's also the way it goes with the team, depending on how you want to structure that with your own team. The other thing is that when you're joining as a member, and you're becoming certified and you are then authorized to use the 72 Sold name, process, and material from the agent portal, you then have access to either purchase or to print the material for 72 Sold. And that's in number 1. And number 2, I'm going kind of out of order here, but number 2, which is the Mac Daddy, we're going to call that the Mac Daddy. That's when you're certified, you're paying monthly, you've joined, you're everything. You're paying increments of $1,500 a month, and you're absolutely inundated with leads, and you cannot believe that you're still paying $1,500 a month. You can say stop, turn it off. You can turn the faucet off if the leads become too much. There is not a contract for a year, for 6 months. It is month to month. You get the leads, you do the leads, you tell them I've got enough, stop. I'm not paying anymore. Then it becomes September and you go, oops, let me get that pipeline filled back up, so you can go back into it. You continue to be a member. You can use the name 72 Sold. You can use the process, and you do not have to pay a referral fee when you're turned off if you are gathering the lead yourself through your own marketing. Also, on that number 1 category, you can do your own advertising and marketing yourself as representing 72 Sold in the program. Tell us what the confines are to advertising and using your name.
You mean as far as the DIY? Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking?
Yeah.
An agent, what we do at corporate is TV, radio, and billboards. Print, social media, you guys can do that all day long. And in the smart move, there are some agents that they joined at Mega Camper right after. And honestly, I don't think they will ever do the $1,500 program. The reason being is they are generating so much on their own and obviously not paying us a referral fee. They have no reason to. I mean, they're making a killing. We've had them on as guests even. I know one of them's now 10 for 10. She's in Austin. And then there was another one, gosh darn it, somewhere out there on the East Coast. And he's like 5 for 5. He's like, it's the simplest thing ever when I can walk in there and pitch a program instead of pitching myself what everybody else says. So, and if you guys have a way, I don't know, Paige, if I could do this, you mentioned larger areas and smaller. If I can share my screen for a second, I'd love to show everyone Atlanta, but then show them how they can select smaller zones within Georgia in general, if that's possible. I don't know if anybody want to see that, but.
Kim, can you do that? Kim's working on it right now.
Can we do that? Is that good?
That's fine.
She's doing.
Okay. Let me,
And Christie, you got a question?
What if I can't find somebody way out in Carrollton? Can I give that lead back?
yeah, there's no giving a lead back, but with what I show you right now, so there's going to be 2 ways of doing this. A referral comes in and I don't sign up for any zones. I say, send it all to me, right? Okay, I'm obviously going to probably get things that are a little too far to drive. I can then go in, search the directory for 72 Sold agents, just like you guys have in Keller Williams, when you want to refer something out to somebody else across the country, and you can shoot it over to that person. Simple as that, right? Or I can say, I can select a zone, which I'm going to show you guys right now, and I can say, send me referrals in these areas, in these zones. Well, then I know it's only going to be in those zones, and I should be able to drive if I selected it. So I'm going to show you 2 different things real fast. The first one, let me hit share here. When I first sign up, the United States is broken into 210 media markets. Media markets are made by NBC, ABC, and CBS. So I sign up at first, and I have to first sign up for a general media market. You guys probably, I heard Atlanta, it might be this area up here. So what that means is, if I called NBC right now, and I said, hey, I want to run a commercial, they're going to say, okay, what media market? And I'm going to say Atlanta. And they're going to say, okay, everything in yellow here is going to see that commercial. That is our Atlanta media market. Now we know at 72 Sold, that's really big, right? You guys are not going to be driving all over this. Okay, so then what we did was I signed up, I selected Atlanta. Now I've paid $1,500. Now I want to be in the ad fund. I now have the ability to select as many zones as I want within this market, or heck, maybe I'm on the border right here of yellow and green. Maybe this is a zone and I want to grab this zone down here. Completely fine. So I'll show you, and I already got it ready while you guys were talking. This is, and I'm going to zoom in slowly. This is the state of Georgia. And you can see I'll hover over, and this is GA 18. That's zone 18. That's zone 2, zone 1, zone 27, zone 16.
27 is our location.
27?
27 is our zone location for our office. That does not mean that agents don't work other areas, but.
That's exactly right. Yep. And I will say, the more zones that people select, obviously, the more referrals that are coming in. Right? There was an agent we were talking to the other day. He's like, I only want Beverly Hills. I don't care. I don't want it even a mile outside Beverly Hills. And we said, okay, but you understand that's not how media works. You might go a couple months because you only want this small little area. You might go a couple months with nothing. He said, I don't care. I only want Beverly Hills. Fine. Okay. You're not going to drive over to Malibu for a $5 million listing. It is what it is. Okay. So long story short, you guys can, anybody that is in the ad fund, you can then go in and select as many zones as you want. Okay, if you have a big team, heck, maybe you know your team is real spread out. And you can say, I'm putting Bob in 16, I'm putting Mary in 2, I'm putting, Frank in 12 and Judith in 1, and whatever you want to do. And it just covers you even more. Okay, so we have taken, like you can see, look at this map. That's the media markets. We've taken those, whatever it is, 8, 9, or 10, and chopped it up into all of these to allow people, okay, I get it, right? They don't want to drive. They'd rather maybe have less, but in a smaller area. And then there's those that say, hey, I'll drive an extra 20, 30 minutes if it means money. So we give everybody that option in a sense. So anyway, I just want to show you that. Lastly is, this is the website, 72national.com. This is what you will use for everything. Okay, right here, I can join the program in the top right. Once I join, here's my member login. Okay, so let's say that I have logged in, I'm a member. The first thing I come to is training, marketing videos, presentation materials, and print and customization. This training is everything. This core training has all the videos in it, top to bottom. I mean, everything imaginable about the program, how to present it to a seller, the psychology-based scenarios that you're going to go through. Okay, up here in my little menu bar, certification exam. How much do I really know? And then this is selecting my preferred zone because let's pretend I've paid $1,500. All this other stuff, you guys. Swag shop, I think, is the new thing. We brought in some KW and 72 sold swag. Most of this other stuff you wouldn't see. This is just because I'm an admin, but select preferred zone, certification exam. This is everything. And like I said, some of you guys that want to do DIY, all of these are our highest producing commercials across the country. And I can download these, I can run my own social media, and I can have sellers go directly to me.
You can only use those videos on social media or in your own promotion. Of course, you can't go out and buy TV ad time for yourself and use this.
Correct. TV, radio, and billboards are only doable by 72 sold.
Okay.
Jason, one more question. This is Jim Alexander. Yeah. So is it legal if I did the 1,500 program and I got a listing lead in Macon, Georgia, which is about an hour from here, another hour and a half.
It could be 3 hours.
Whatever, okay, but anyway, and I went down there and I got this listing, but I found someone down with Keller Williams, and I said, you'll be my co-listing agent and you'll do the day-to-day running, but I'll be the one talking to the seller. If they were not a part of 72 sold, is that legal or is that not legal?
That is okay. So the reason that's okay is you're seller facing and you're the one talking the program to them, right? You went in, you got the listing. All of my, if I'm that person, I'm the lister and I have a bunch of back end support, they don't need to be part of the program. They're not going to probably ever have to pitch the program. But that agent that's going in, that our referral is, going to go into their hands, that agent does have to be part of the program.
So Jim, you would have to be face to face with the seller or the listing appointment.
Yeah, and I gotta go down there
But
with
you
the.
could have a runner.
Exactly right, yeah.
But
Someone
that
else
runner,
can be a showing person. When the buyer's agent comes to the house, somebody else can do that, that's not certified?
They can, but I will tell you guys this, there is just as much as getting the listing, you have to know how to execute on it, right? Execute on the program. And a large part of that is the psychology-based selling, the same selling that, if you guys don't know this, that Apple uses with their iPhone every 6 or 8 months when they roll one out. That assistant of mine better know something. I better cross-train them on a little bit of how to speak to these buyers agents and the buyers and how to prop up the home in the strategies. Do they really need to know every single little thing about the program? No, but they better know that, or this home is not gonna sell and I'm out money.
Yeah, and I do not want to go around the program. That's not my intent. I'm trying to make sure that we think about leverage also.
Totally, yep.
Jason,
No, it's a good question.
Thank you, Paige. Jason, we're probably the only office in this area having a big turnout for this meeting. We have about how many online?
28 right now.
28 online, and about 30 inside the office. So to have that many a week before the holidays is like amazing.
Yeah, and just a quick thing here, and I'll let you guys get back to your thing, but a couple of the questions. Nick says, it's 1572. Yeah, if you want to look at it like that, $1,500 goes into the ad fund, $72 membership. That's my gym membership. I'm paying that regardless, right? That is to stay in the program and have the ability to do everything my own or to jump up to quote the personal trainer. Can we go over again the difference between how leads are distributed when you pay 72 as opposed to paying 1572? $72 does not get me any referrals from 72 sold. Okay, 72 sold generates referrals based on the ads that it runs across the country. Okay, those ads have been, there's a contributing group of agents. It's only fair that the agents that contribute to the ads are those that get the referrals. So if I'm in the 72, I can do my own elbow grease and I keep all the money. There is no referral fee going to 72 sold. And I have earned that, right? I did the work. If it comes to 72 sold to place those ads, to run the commercials, to create new content for sellers, then we're going to have a 25% referral fee for that. So it really just kind of depends on what agent you are. And the smart move, I will tell you guys, the smart move is I am an agent either or. I'm in the 1500 or I'm not. But while these national commercials are running, I am running my own on social media and print and anything else I can do, because now I have a higher likelihood that a seller is going to go to me. They're going to see the commercial. Are they going to see me? And then do they hit me or do they hit 72 sold? They hit me, I take that money. They go to 72 sold, they go to 72 sold, fine. But that is the smart play, is use us as the ride our coattails kind of a scenario. And that's when you're running your own.
Is it gonna run on Fox during football for the national championship or anything?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good holiday.
Thank
See you guys.
All right, now I got the table out. Somebody asked me why I have to have this table. I have to have this table because I have a bad knee. And it's so much easier to do like this. And then I don't look like I'm sitting like this in front of you.
I would think your son would come up and hold you up.
He would. If I asked him to, or if I needed it, he would. He absolutely would. Now we're by ourselves, okay? This is just family talking.
And then I want to start off, okay, guys, and I'm going to turn a page, and Christian, everyone that's in here, guys. This office is not saying go do this. Online, hear that, okay? If you're going to do this, I want to make sure you've done your homework, because I don't want anybody to come in and say, Jim, you pushed this, and it's not a good program. So I'm not saying I don't get a dime from this program. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you to do your homework. And I asked a lot of questions. Paige, how long have you been looking at this?
Since about a month before family mega camp.
Is that right? How long have you been looking at, Kristen? Couple months, exactly right. Who else has already signed up for it? Anybody else already signed up for it? How long have you been looking at it?
2 months.
How long have you been looking at it? How long?
Since mega camp.
Is that correct? Anybody else has signed up for it already? So guys, do your homework. Do your homework, because I am not telling you to do this. I'm telling you to do your homework to where you are very clear on what happens. That's my CYA for Jim.
I have a CYA for Paige.
Okay, go for it, Paige.
And this is from Mama Paige, okay? This is a lot of money. This is a lot of money, and it is not proven in our area. You have a budget and you have a business. And you have a business plan and you have goals to reach. And I know that everybody that's sitting here already has done their business planning and they know what their budget is. If this amount of money each month or in $1,500 increments is not within your budget, or it will take something away from you personally, I, not Keller Williams, not Quan, I, Paige Morgan, say, please don't do this. It may not work, and you may be out that money. So how can I say it easier? If you can't afford it, don't do it. If you can't afford to take that window and throw $1,500 out it and it not change your life, don't do it. Because there's a possibility that could happen. Now, these guys, all they're doing is selling. My gosh, I've never been sold so many times in my life. But I also have bought into it, and I bought into it like most people who have bought into it, because I'm not gonna be down the road 6 months and went, dang, that does work. I should have tried it. It might be as wonderful as it is in Arizona. It may work for some of us and it may not work for some of us. I have information, and I will give this to Kimberly to send out to everybody for all the contact information for support. They are very good at getting back to you with support, and the email is support@72sold.com. I also have taken several people that have been doing testimonials on the webinars, and I have gotten their phone numbers and I have called them and I have asked them, what's the real deal? And I have gotten varying degrees of answers. I'm gonna give you the worst and the best. I spoke to one woman who I have never heard such a hyped out woman in my life. She sold 200 units the first year she was with 72 Sold, and she is 100% 72 Sold. As I continued my conversation, I found out that all 200 units were mobile homes. So when you're calling, dig. What are our leads gonna look like? No one knows. I also spoke to a gentleman in Vermont who is in the second home market in Vermont, and they already have TV advertising there, and he's been receiving leads, and he's kicking it. And he's selling $1 million+ homes and kicking it with the program. So it depends on where they come from, where the leads come from, but I'm happy to share that with you.
Hey, can I ask a clarifying question on those data points? Was that business production exclusively because of the program, or were they already in those markets selling? Like, was that an incremental?
No, that was absolutely 72 Sold, the one with the 200 units.
Yeah.
That was 100% 72 Sold. She is from Phoenix, had never been in the real estate business, went in the real estate business and joined 72 Sold. Okay, the guy in Vermont, he's a KW agent in Vermont, and there were beta areas where TV advertising went out. Austin was one, and I spoke to an agent in Austin. Vermont was one, Michigan something, Minnesota something with an M.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so, I mean, there were some key areas where they did beta testing, and I've spoken to those people that were KW agents to begin with. And they haven't given up their KW business, put it that way.
I have a question. So this lady who sold 200 homes, this was $1,500 she was paying? Plus 72. 72 is not gonna get you that. You have to pay that 1,500 for every,
And she could have been buying multiple
She was probably
bottles.
paying
right,
for it.
so 1,500 per sale?
No.
$100 a month.
Per
Just
month,
1,500 per month she's paying to get that.
4 to 6 leads.
1570.
1,572 you pay to get that, 72 is not gonna get you.
And then you're 25% referral.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you on the referrals, do you know if you have to pay on, like, if you get a lead?
Just try to order, let's have one question at a time, let them finish their question, let Paige answer, because if not, it's gonna become you might be able to hear anything, okay?
And before we ask another question, get out pen and paper. If you want to receive a lead, if you want them to send you somebody who is interested, someone who has raised their hand, you must pay $199 to join. You must pay $72 a month. You must pay $1,500 per month in increments of $1,500 per month to receive the leads. Then when you receive the lead and close the transaction, you owe 72 sold 25% of the
CI.
Thank you. The GCI. Okay, so there are 4 different numbers if you want to get leads. That's the biggest confusion that I have heard, is that, no, I can do this with just $72 a month. And no, you can't. For $72 a month, you get access to the agent portal. I'm gonna pass these around. These are mine that I've kind of paid for, so.
The 199 is just one time.
But hold on one second.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
That's
to join the gym.
That's joining the.
Okay.
Just to get a locker.
Locker, okay. Thank you.
Padlock's gonna cost you.
Okay, all right, hang on. The brochure, hang on. 1, 2, 3, whatever that is. The brochure that you're looking at is available in the agent portal. To be in the agent portal, you have to pay the $199 and the $72 a month. You can then purchase what I am showing you. That's why I'm saying kind of be careful with them, don't write on them and give them back to me, because I bought them. Or you can take, you can print it yourself. I found it cheaper to buy it, but it's not something that just comes with the program. There is a lot in that agent portal, but you can't get to that agent portal unless you are a DIY, do-it-yourself person. This is what you use for the do-it-yourself. There is another brochure that is an 8-page brochure that you have to use when you go on listing appointments. This is not the listing appointment brochure for leads that come from 72 sold. When 72 sold, now did I answer all the questions about the money? Everybody clear as mud on that?
I was just gonna, I forgot, is the 25% just on that lead? Like, you don't have to pay it again in a certain period of time if that person does another transaction with you?
So,
Yes, you do.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify.
well,
Okay,
to a point.
if you pay the 25% referral fee at closing for that person, and that person also buys a house, you've sold their house and they buy a house from you, you pay 25% referral fees. Now, here's the deal, and this is my philosophy. If you pay the 25% referral fee and you take that person and you move them into your database, and then you continue to work that person as a prospect for past client referrals, contacts within their sphere and your sphere, then you do not pay an additional, and that's what you should be doing. This is not something, we want to teach you how to get fed for a minute until you are able to fish. Is that right, Jim?
I'm sorry.
Right. Is that right, Andrew? Okay,
So the
I have
initial
a question.
transaction is not the windfall.
that is correct. The windfall is not the transaction, is not the lead. The windfall is that you have the opportunity to do business with someone and put it in your database. And you go from there, but that's not 72 sold teaching, so yes,
What is involved in the certification?
nothing.
It's not
I
bad,
mean,
you just
that's
take
the-
a little test over and over.
Over
and over?
You take a little
Till you
test, until
pass
you get
it.
100%, you'll pass, but it's like 5 questions times 5
It's nothing.
modules, and it gives you the right answer if you get it wrong, so you just take that module over again. So like, takes you an hour.
You had your hand up?
Yes, about when you said that there is an increment for $1,500, there's the 3 steps that they have. That means that every month is going to increase the $1,500 or just per month?
No, increments, each. You can pay $1,500 and get 1 round of leads. You can pay $3,000 for the same month and get 2 rounds of leads.
Okay.
Or you can pay $5,000, but it has to be in, sets. That word increment can mean several different things in different languages, that's why I'm trying to think of a different name, in sets of 1,500 a month.
That 1,500 is gonna give you 4 to 6 possible leads in 1 month.
Right.
I was curious if you or anyone else who's kind of learned the program has implemented it in a listing appointment and what their response has been.
Hasn't rolled out yet.
And roll out.
But like if you can do
On
the
the
trainings
DIY
online.
program.
Yeah.
There are several agents who are using the DIY program and are using the philosophy behind it and the techniques of 72 sold and are using the opportunity because they can to promote 72 sold and themselves in other forms of media that have been successful, that are successful now, yes.
I only signed in with the DIY, and I've been actually doing the letters. I'm starting the letters for the expireds, just to get the word out there. And I've briefly spoken to some past clients and sellers that I already have in the pocket. And being that it's DIY, I just wanted to have both options. If they don't care to do the 72 sold, then I can say, well, here's another option. You want to stick with traditional? Because they are seniors and they're downsizing, they may not be that person that wants to do 72 sold. So that was my reason, just sticking with the DIY for right now.
And have you been on a listing appointment using the entire process?
Not completely, no.
Okay, yes.
But did you sign for DIY or you sign also for 150? I mean, 50,000?
I'm doing ad buy-in.
And how do you feel on your business? Did it make any difference?
It won't start until, and let me correct something that he said. It doesn't start until January the 9th. Okay, and one thing is there are 3 ways if you are in the Mac Daddy, okay? There are 3 different ways that you will receive leads. You'll receive leads via text, via email, and also through CRM. Their CRM is supposed to roll out next week, probably the end of next week. You do have to use their CRM. You have to follow up with every lead, and you have to follow up with 72 sold on every lead by way of their CRM.
That's the only way they'll know if you're working the program correctly.
It's the only way they know if they can get paid. Yeah. Okay, questions?
One question, this program seems to be pushing. I'm a 72 sold agent. Do we run into any problems of Greg saying, no, you're a KW agent and stop hawking, you're 72 sold?
Good question. We are not 72 sold agents, okay? In some states, you can be a 72 sold agent because there is a real estate company called 72 sold. But, so you can be, but in our program, in our area, I am Paige Morgan, Keller Williams, Atlanta North.
With a program.
With a program powered, I like this word, powered by 72 sold. Okay. Now, do I have to tell everybody that?
No.
What about if I only want to say that if it's a 72 sold lead?
Sure.
Why would I ever want to do that? Why would I not want to tell the whole world that I'm 72 sold?
They'll go to them first. They don't know what it is. 25%.
They have no clue what it means.
They have no clue what it means. They know what the Paige Morgan Real Estate Group is. They know what Keller Williams Atlanta North is. That's enough. You know, for my clients, because I am so referral based, Andrew is so referral based, I say, hi, I'm Paige. You know, and all the other stuff gets to go away. But you need to announce yourself as being a part of, powered by, registered with, affiliated by, with, whatever you come up with that feels comfortable to you. But using the 72 sold name when you're contacting a lead from 72 sold.
They haven't built the brand here yet, so the consumer's not gonna clue in. So these ads start January 9th. It's gonna take the consumer a couple of weeks of seeing this over and over before it kicks in. So I don't think you're gonna get on January 9th, you're not gonna get 50 leads aren't gonna come in. It's gonna take time. Just like Mark Spain, when he started, slow.
That's why they are giving
more time.
January and February at the same price, at the same easy price.
I don't think I've heard this before. Is it a partnership only with Keller Williams, or are they partnered with other?
It is now. Their partnerships are only with Keller Williams. Why?
Number one.
Why?
Because we have the footprint.
Follow the money. Follow the money, because Gary Keller infused a huge amount of money and is involved in the ownership. And I do not know to what degree, and neither does anybody else probably, into 72 sold. But it is a Gary Keller promoted, owned, hopefully profited in the future, losing a ton of money right now in it. Just put in $2 million into the ad fund.
Hey, John, I'm strictly commercial, but I'm just curious. I'm not shy to poke the bear here. If you got 1,500, he has 1,500, Julie puts in 1,500, and he puts in 1,500, doesn't the carousel just get bigger and bigger, which means that referral that comes in, it sounds to me if it's a closed circle, you've got 3, he's got 1,500, his odds are 1 in 2 or 1 in 4 that he's gonna get a referral. But if all of a sudden several people get on, it seems to me that the referrals, are you worried about your referrals getting smaller or less? Because even if you have 3K in it, but several people have 1,500 in it within this office, there's saturation, I guess.
They're only allowing so many in one, they're not putting a pile of people in the same zone.
Okay, so there's a max to the membership.
Yes, it's a max of how
Meaning
many go in.
if everybody in here were signed up, let's say he said 4 people, it seems like they have to rotate those leads around. So does that make your pool of leads smaller because you're doubling your payment Well, I guess, no, you're not, but.
Well, they've been
Or
doing
does it
this,
equally go around?
they've been doing this so long in other markets that they know once they turn that switch on the advertising over a period of time, it's not probably gonna be beginning, over a period of time, they know how many leads are gonna be coming out. Because the consumer is no different here than it is in Arizona.
There is a person in this office who's fairly new that spent $10,000 to buy leads and got zero.
Oh my God, yeah.
Got zero. Okay, guys? So just realize that you may spend this money and get what, Paige?
Nothing.
Zero, exactly right,
Nothing.
Sean.
That's why I'm saying, you need to be able to throw the money out the window or don't do it. Please don't do it. And I'm saying that because I'm your mommy, what, Courtney?
There's also a limit on the zones. You can only pick a few zones. You can't go in there and be like, I want all the zones. You can only buy in to pick a certain amount of zones.
Right.
And a certain amount of zip codes.
Right.
Does that answer?
So it's not flooded. That's the whole
Uh,
thing.
Then you pay more for an extra
How many areas can you choose instead of two sold?
No, you're limited to the zones and then.
And then if you want to pay another, if you want to do 1,500 to go beyond the limit. then
Yeah.
you're
What's the
a new
limit though?
person.
I mean, I signed up for 4 zones.
In 1,500?
Yeah. Now, you could end up getting busted. I get one in Carrollton, I get one out on the other east side of Georgia.
It is not suggested to select numerous zones if you're doing, unless you're doing zillions of dollars. Or,
And within a zone,
Or
you
you
can
have-
still put zip
Zillions.
codes that
Or you have
you
a ton of people.
prefer. It doesn't mean you'll necessarily get the 3062, but you can put in that you prefer the 62 zip code.
yeah, what he talked about was teams that will buy a certain zone for a certain agent. Okay? The woman sitting in front with, if y'all didn't notice her, she's the one with the moose ears on.
Reindeer.
Oh, reindeer, I'm sorry.
They look, you know,
I'm trying to get to the moose. Okay.
Wait, okay, this one.
Yeah, that, oh, see, no one noticed it until you did that. Okay, this is Carrie Williams.
Light them up.
Line them
And
up.
Carrie Williams, starting January 1st, will be on our 72 sold team. I am the lead agent and I will not be receiving leads. I'm just telling you this so that you kind of understand how you can structure it. She has $1,500 of leads coming to her. They will come to her. She will work those leads. But she's only getting a zone, one zone. And who do we have in the back there? Okay. And in the back, we have Angelina, and Angelina is also gonna be on our 72 sold team. And she will have other areas, and she'll have $1,500. Andrew will have yet another area, and he will have $1,500 lead. That's the way some people are doing it. Some people are saying the 3 of those, and I'm using my example because I don't want to get into anybody else's business. Some people would take the 3 of them and say $1,500, the first lead goes to Andrew, the second lead goes to Carrie, the third lead goes to Angelina. Doesn't matter if it's a good lead or a bad lead. Then you gotta rotate again until it gets to you. 3 people on a $1,500 ad spend, what would that get you if you are, is that maximum 2 leads a month? Max.
So you're gonna get, probably, in the beginning, you're probably gonna get 3, right? So you get 1 each, and you only get 20, you're probably only gonna close 25% of them. So it's a numbers game. It's
It's a
all a
numbers game. The more you put in, the more you get, you know, I mean, it's life. Courtney, do you think of anything else that I missed that's super important before I go to my notes, or any more questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
everything that I've heard, and maybe that's just because it's just launching, was through February. So is this committed to be continued throughout the year consistently? Or do they wait and see how much ad spend they get, or?
In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. No, okay. In the beginning, when they launched to the general population of Keller Williams at Mega Camp, they said that it would be cut off at a X number of agents with Keller Williams. Now, they had to divide that up into areas, so there were like X number of agents only that could be in Georgia. Now, this is just family talking, right? This doesn't get me, TikTok, the game is locked, okay? We're talking very, very plain and honest with you. But here's the deal. They said, as soon as it's cut off, no more agents can join for January. Then you had to join by, and they said that it would be probably cut off by the end of that particular webinar. Then you had to have your money in and paid by the 15th of November, or you couldn't be in for January because of the limited amount. Then it was the 30th of November.
Yes.
Okay. Then it was January, and then it was December 10th. I don't know my months real well. It was December 10th. Okay, what is today?
20th.
Can you still sign up?
Yes.
Yes. So, when they realized that they did not have enough people who had bought in,
Can't do the ad spend.
then Gary Keller came in and infused $2 million in the ad spend. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, but that's $2 million into the ad spend nationally, not in Atlanta. Okay, that $2 million is gonna go away in a hurry.
But
So,
there's one other thing. It's rolling out. If it winds up being a flop here locally, you'll know, and you'll be able to cancel at any time. If it is successful, and we won't know if it's successful probably for 90 to 120 days.
Right.
And then more people are gonna wanna sign up, and then it will be locked out. So you get in, you play, if it works, it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't.
No contract.
This doesn't sound any different than anything else that's new that's been rolled out. People who are
Zillow, the
overreacting
same
to,
thing.
Zillow.
you know, I haven't heard this, I haven't heard that, tell me this detail, like, this is the same as every rollout that's ever happened in any industry.
You're gonna learn.
In our industry, about every 5 years. And this is no different. This is an opportunity we see to get ahead of the curve. And to your point, you know, in a limited amount of time, you're gonna see if it works, and there's no annual lock-in to do that. And if it's, to your point at the very beginning, you know, if it's a tough month for you or a tough couple months and you're not seeing that return, turn the faucet off. Don't just slam your head against the wall. And if it's working for you, ramp it up and keep going and build a business. So, you know, this is no different than anything else that you would want to try. It's a new name, and it's a strategy that puts a little things on its head. So,
Guys, I would have 3 months at least to start this. Would you agree, Paige? You may not know in 1 month.
6, because of the way it has been rolling out, I believe my business philosophy is that if you start something new, you need to run it for 18 months before you actually know if it's a profit. I have more than 3 months set aside to see if this program works. But if you,
I don't think you'll know in 1 month.
if you cannot set aside, here I am being your mom again, if you cannot set aside 3 months, don't do it. don't do it. You may get nothing on the first one, you may get nothing on the second one, then you may get 10 on the third one. So don't have to stop before you get something. So look at your budget and set that money aside, you know, do the little envelope thing if you need to, which is what I have to do. I have to set it in a different bank account. I did a different debit card that I gave to 72 Sold. When that debit card's done, we're done. But
You should know in
also,
30 days,
I'm gonna
though.
use that same account to put commissions earned into.
You should know in 30 days, because they're promising 4 to 6, and snake oil salesman says, we'll probably give you more, but we wanna be conservative, so we're promising 4 to 6. Now, are they good leads? Are they good price points, and are they near you? Who knows? But you should know in the first 30 days if you're gonna do it. But if you sign in the ad budget, make sure you take the time to do the certification, pick your zones and get your stuff set up, or you won't get any referrals. Because they're not gonna send you a referral until you pass the test that said you know the program.
I have a question. How important is that phone line? The Grasshopper, they were mentioning to set up for if someone has to call you back instead of your regular direct line.
I don't know, I heard somebody had set up a burner phone. I don't get any of that.
It might vary, like if you run your own ads as the DIY stuff and you're saying, please call this phone number, you may want to have a burner app or burner phone, so that way they call, you get the recording that's there for you to download.
Right.
That says you've reached 72 total. If you're getting the 500 ad buy, they've already got all that information because they called them on their 800 number or whatever, and then you calling them from your phone number.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify the importance of it.
And you may look at it differently, that was just what somebody else suggested.
No, it makes sense, so that when that voicemail that they gave us, it'll already be into play and they'll feel as though they're calling a 72 Sold agent.
Yeah, Rusty set that up and he's running the ads and he downloads the voicemail message and you can call his number to hear it, it's pretty cool.
On the certification, it is at 72national.com. Make sure that you're using the correct website, 72national.com. That is where all the training is available and the to sign up for the certification is there. I'm not gonna get into the process of how the system works, because we could be here for a couple weeks. But the certification is important, and they have several different systems in their training. The CCT, which I happen to like because it's the Cobb County Transit. It used to be the buses. Y'all know I'm the bus stop lady, then we don't have buses in Cobb County anymore, but, so anyway, the CCT, it's easy for me to remember. Call, text. Okay, CCT, call, text, when you, and it will give you leads on, or more information when you go through the portals about how to handle these specific kinds, because they're different than other ones. They want to know about the program. They don't want to know that you're the best agent in all of Cobb County. They want to know about the program that they saw on TV. I have kind of hit most of my notes. If there are any questions, we can mastermind. We've got about 10 minutes. Mastermind, if anybody has anything that they can add to it. I don't. I'm done.
Anybody on Zoom that didn't get their question answered, speak up?
I'll make a comment. Some people have already, and I don't have one, but some people have already started partnering up. So like maybe I do the ad buy and Brenda's just doing the 72 and we can partner up so she can help me with this flood of referrals that are gonna come in and trying to cover that. So you might think about partnering with somebody else. And then if you haven't already bought the ad buy and you decide you are gonna buy the ad buy, just a plug here, please name one of your fellow Quan agents, because then they'll give that person a 20% credit towards their next ad buy. So it doesn't cost you any more, so name somebody that you know. And that way it just helps us all out. So we're not competing against each other in this program. We're all getting unique leads. So that's why we're happy to help answer questions and make sure we all hit the ground running so we can be as successful as we can. And it's just one more lead source, hopefully, for business next year, if the market is a challenge for us, anybody who might have felt a little pinch this year.
Any other questions? Any questions? As I said when we started this discussion, if you don't have a way that you're touching your own database yet, go to 72 souls. No, not touching your database yet.
Say it
Don't do
again,
72 souls.
louder and louder.
Because, I mean, why would you pay for lead when you're not even taking care of your own database yet? Don't do that. Get that one straight first, and then do it. Last but not least, guys, as your team leader, it just warms my heart that so many of you all came out the week before the holidays, before Christmas, to find out about this. This office is exceptional because of that. You know, y'all, people online, we had about 30 online and about 30 in here. So guys, and we would have close to 60 people interested in what am I going to do to run my business next year. I mean, there's a reason why we're going to end up the year as the most productive office for Keller in Atlanta. Because you want to I want to keep learning. I want to keep finding new business out there, guys. That's what makes us exceptional. And good news is we don't have one group or one team that is the most successful, because many people in here are ones that have done well, guys. So we've got a very deep, what's it called? A very deep, long bench. That's the right word. We have that.
Well, that's all good.
And so we've got a lot of stuff people got. So, you know, plan for next year. Plan to touch your database regularly. That's got to be your first thing you do. And then to add more ways to lead generate. This is just one more, okay? And there are no bad leads. There are no bad leads. It's just getting those leads and nurturing them. That's all it makes. So guys, please do that. Anything else that we can talk about? Yes, ma'am, Lilia.
Mama Page said, don't waste your money. And the best way to get leads is contact your database. 5 cents from Lilia team and Mama Lilia. Every year we're sending out little calendars to our database. Years later, I'm coming into people's houses and they still have these calendars on their refrigerator because they're with magnets and recipes. And recipes proven being very good. We are multiple agents in our office pitching in to save money on shipping and to save money on numbers of price. So this year we have 100 calendars left. If somebody would like to have it, it is coming like this. You replace this little white sticker with your business card and send it to your database. So each of them 45 cents.
How much? 45 cents?
45 cents. So we have hundreds of them left. So if you would like to get it, this is hundreds of them. If not, they are featured patch by 25 for $450.
Yeah, for you, I'll go buy you some more for that.
I will.
And second piece that I would like to share with you guys, I'm working with a few Ukrainian families who moved in, escaped from the war zone, and I'm helping them to find rental properties. If you have anybody as of right now, a few families, actually 4, looking for properties in Gwinnett, in Lawrenceville. If you know investors, if you're working with investors who is ready to help, people have a right, and according to November 21st, the government new changes to the law, people who is coming as a refugee from Ukrainian war, they will get right to work immediately within 1 week. They don't have to wait for Social Security and for the work permit. But if you have anybody who is ready to rent, we would greatly appreciate any help, support, and also if anybody has furniture for some small stuff like a kitchen supplies, whatever you have, not necessarily clothes, but stuff that we can live with. We would appreciate it. You have my number.
Right.
You wanna put a box
My name is Lilia, 678-481-4486 is where you can reach me.
Can you put that on the internet?
Yeah, I can put it on internet. I posted on Rose Group Facebook, and so far I did not hear from anybody. But if you have anything that we would appreciate.
We can set up some boxes and people can bring in supplies and things like that to donate.
Would be great. Would be great.
For money as well.
Like I said, any furniture, like one family with a baby 7 months old, she was born while mom was escaping from the war.
And you may want to put her in touch with most ministers also, because that may be great to do also.
Yeah, I was trying to do that. They're in Cobb County. I was trying to find them on the Gwinnett side because they need some food right now. They still in the process. They just arrived. Like some of them arrived last week. They just arrived, so they don't have any money. Try to help.
Give Willie a hand for that. That happens in this office all the time. People are working behind the scenes, do that kind of stuff, and you'll never know it until it's done. And say, "By the way, someone working on that," and that happens a lot in this office. People come and say, "Jim, I understand Mary's having a tough time paying her office bill. Can I pay it for the next 3 months?" And I go, "Sure." By the way, Jim, look somewhere and do that for her. Because that happens a lot in this office. It's cool. Like anything else?
Jim, I wanted to say something. You and Authorina and I were talking this morning, and guys, sometimes the most obvious thing is not the most obvious. And I just want to remind you guys what it is we're celebrating. There are a lot of people right now who are very hopeless, and in the midst of all the lights and everything that's going on, they're having a hard time. And the one thing that, if anything else, Christmas means is that God has not forgotten about us.
Amen.
And he's done everything to let us know that he's here, he cares for us. And I just want us to focus on that and remember, not only look up, but look around, because there's some people that really need to have that message of hope. So sometimes we get, no, listen, just because you have a belief doesn't mean you're trying to force your belief on somebody else. And I hope that we in this place are those who can share these things with each other. So anyway, I want you guys to be encouraged. And I mean, for myself, I can get caught up in the tinsel and the lights and everything else and forget what this is all about. So, amen.
This morning I'm listening to Andy Stanley as I'm walking. I love listening in the morning. He said, "Are the people at Hanukkah, Christmas, what are pick your seasons where you're like, my God, I'm about to see that person." And that make your stomach feel like, oh, I gotta see that person, whether it's your brother-in-law, whether it's your mother-in-law, or just a friend you see only one time a year. And he said, but just realize you may be that person to somebody else. Which made me smile. Which made me smile. Yeah, I gotta see Jim again. Oh my God. Anyway, enjoy the next several weeks, guys. Please be working on your plan for next year. If you go into January 1st and you have zero plan, you'll probably reach your goal at your business. So we'll be working with guys, and thank you so much for coming out today. It makes me smile, makes me want to Paige. Let me give Paige a hand for all. Can we give Andrew a hand for having to put up with all this? Just give me a hand. Hey guys, enjoy your day. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Exactly right, Jess.